Well, viewers, we are back again. The show hasn't changed. It's still the Barber's Chair Chat Show, brought to you by Ebony Condoms, Ghana's most pleasurable condoms, and Hello Kaimi and Global Beauty Supply Solutions. The men have gathered in the barber shop once again. This episode promised to be the bomb. Why? Because the issue up for discussion is very touchy, it's very painful, but it's a very necessary topic. Really, it's a necessary evil. So, what are we talking about? Should I introduce the people or talk about the topic? You know, there have been a lot of issues in Ghana and all around the world involving what has now been termed paternity fraud, where you think the child is yours. You've done 9 months of antenatal, you've done 18 years of childcare, only to find out that, oh, apparently it wasn't yours. The real father was elsewhere. So today we are going to talk about paternity fraud and DNA testing. How important, how necessary, how essential is DNA testing? The conversation hasn't started, but there's giggling going around. So let me introduce my panelists for today. Today the setup is different. There are 4 people in the house, including me, 5. So let me start from the extreme. This man is called Isaac.
Yes, sharp.
Ike, introduce yourself.
Isaac is my name.
Yeah. That's all.
That's
you don't want to add anything?
No.
Okay. Boss man.
I'm Frank Odija. I work with Bedrock Insurance.
Bedrock Insurance. He'll pay for advertising. If you say they dodge me, they went. Boss man.
The name is Michael.
The name is Michael. Simply Michael. Okay. You know me, I'm man with a mic. I didn't mention my name, but I'm man with a mic. I'm your regular host. And there's this man here with a glass. I'm not sure what is in the glass.
The name is Wallace, but they call me Alex.
He's trying to make his voice sexy, but it won't work. There's no girl here, so you.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So look, we are not going to waste time. This conversation has a tendency to go past an hour, so we have to be really quick. Guys, DNA from the biology side is diribonucleic acid. It is the basic unit of human genetics. So when it comes to finding the biological connection between 2 people, a father and a child, or a mother and a mother had the child, so really the mother side is not usually a problem. It's usually the fathers and their children, or tracing the genealogy. That's where the DNA usually comes in. And so that is the biological part of it. The more common usage these days is what they call DNA testing, where they take samples from the child and the parents to a lab to ascertain whether truly that child belongs to that parent or that parent had that child. Some have said that DNA testing should be added as part of the childbirth process. The same way you go through labor and you deliver, the delivery should have part 3, where they do a test on the child almost immediately. What is the consensus in this house? Should we start with you, or when do we start from there? Or
start from
DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've over a period of 5 years, had issues starting from our legend, Odazilanti. Many a times, women tend to act fast and make a choice of who they want to settle down with. But they tend to forget that we have something like test. So as time go on, there's a demand. For instance, I relocate and there's a need for me to bring my kids. A DNA is done and they start exposing things. And then issues start happening and then it brings up we checking on whether we are really men. How do we check whether if you are men? By either going to do the test or check whether the kids who call you daddy are your kids, biologically. Many a times we tend to leave a lot of things out. So the men act fast of making you have a feeling of being a man or a father. DNA has come to expose all those things out. And it's something we need to look at and see the causes of it, the reason why it comes about, and why it's done.
Okay.
So I think my brothers here will have different views pertaining to the DNA.
The essentiality of the
Yes.
DNA. Okay. Mike.
Well, I think DNA is essential. No two ways about it. Because it's the building blocks of genetics, just like you rightly said. But as with regards to it being part of the birth process, I don't really think that would solve problems. Because, I mean, even if we go into the Bible, as the law was introduced, transgressions grew. So the laws do not stop crimes. A DNA being part of a system will not stop what's going to happen. All right. So for me, I think.
Papa, allow the man to talk. Oji, your Bible is lost. So don't ask where it is. Please go ahead.
So for me, I think that the issue shouldn't be about the test being a part of the requirements. The issue should be about fidelity, and with the two people need to understand themselves more. Because I've been part of a family setting with my extended family and all that. I have uncles who took care of people's children. They recognized them as their own. They took care of them. They didn't have any biological connection.
See, the problem.
So the thing here is, if people can go out to do this, my issue here is, if you've done something, you go and tell the person to challenge. This is the whole thing. You don't wait for 20 years.
And no NSM. You said you have extended family members who have taken care of other children. They were well aware that Enyaniba.
No, it has to come out well. Sorry, forgive me for cutting it, but the moment you, the woman, you know your man is firing blank bullets, there are ways of getting it addressed. Don't address it for him.
Okay.
And keep him in the dark.
I think we are speaking from two different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first of all, I think some women or some ladies, I put it that way, can be diabolic by hiding certain things they must have done. Maybe she's involved with someone else. She's also involved with this other guy. She married this other guy, and then there's that other guy she was pregnant for, and then she gives the baby to this other
guy. Yeah.
There's also the issue of maybe this other guy may have
the fire blanks
and may not know. That is clearly a different issue on its own.
But you see, the reason why we are asking about the essentiality of DNA testing at birth, okay, the people who took care of somebody, their nephews and all of those things, even strange children they didn't know, not biologically related to, they were well aware that this is this orphan from this village, blah blah blah. The problem for most men now is where you are given the, like he said, you are given the privilege of being called daddy, when you are actually not a daddy.
Well, it's
if anything, you are dada. Uda now ada.
Such issues are rather unfortunate. It speaks volumes of deception. Whether the person was firing blanks and was not, it's still deception.
Yes. So he said you mentioned in your submission that the presence of the law does not stop the crime.
Exactly.
Right? The testing will not stop them from doing it. But it will deter some because you know you will be exposed.
Well, I think so. I agree with you on that note. But for me, I still feel that, you see, with issues like this, apart from the trust issues and all that, we also need to look at the financial implications of DNA testing.
You bet, yeah. You bear the health insurance.
You get it? So when we talk about...
Who do you? Isaac, Jesus should come to you.
In fact, DNA, health insurance, and now in consultia. Another topic. By the way, you have no account.
Already, you can speak to the old young king.
When did you just speak to the Africans?
Already, street children, adults will crew them. Yes, I did about the count.
I think to any
So all I'm saying is that it also boils. We also need to look at the financial implications as well. I don't know much about how much these tests cost, but from what I gather or from what I've been told, it's pretty expensive. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. So there are some people, Charlie, the already cry at the crown Pukrana on time for winning for two. But the demographics vary. Alright, there are people who still want to go through it and all that. But for me, I think it shouldn't be essential. It should be an option. If people want to go ahead with it, let them go ahead with it. It's a part of the process. Get it done. You don't want it, you leave it as it is.
Okay, Isaac.
That's of what we do, and young one is of. So this about there. Oh, share Jesus Christ to cry with Jinahua. From Matthew.
Yes, Mr. Super DNA.
No, I made about me this year. Some so. The Bible. What is it? It's now okay. Who do you suck at the Troja Open? It may be a woman. Jesus Christ, or Jesus Christ, or Bassa, says so. Not Matthew. I didn't know how. Oh, I see David, the descendant, Jesus, the descendants of David.
The genealogy of Jesus, yes.
David, on the way, Joseph Crampo, and on the way, yes. I am on Kunko and the best enemy. Me, I am with it took me for video a year because there are so many sinners. Me, Mom, dear Carmen Kwan, who's my brother, we are called that year. On bien, on Shahu,
saying.
Maybe it's not trying to gun for everyone there. I'm telling you.
I think it's a trap.
Yana, no, me again. And you ain't a problem here. All start your confinement. If I put that lamp to me, where the woman said, continue green. Set me shoot to a year blank. Set a shoot to papa. Many who are in that time. Because over me crowd back. Ban one say bank as a or that's what it's out.
Yes.
Yes. It's in any like look at this may an option and may and come for Sampura. DNA opa and I'll call for you. Open so I mean. But to me, my kind to say DNA the because me matumi too. Benim say matumi too. The very day about yes I testing. Yes I did about one at the time ever. The love for you crying out as a son. And after him say all this one, me papa nie. O that lamp for example, if you only find die na and for bako, I don't go for on the fire. About bit my.
Yes, it's your three.
Our three.
And takau.
And tau. Oh, instead what could shoot to be na safa. One ko kan ka we never ba. Emba. If you are usu abro walk to the found. Aba ni sa ho. E de oyaw, this thing can even let you end your life.
Yeah. Yes, but then you see, the reason why it becomes that painful enough for people to end their lives is when you have spent your life's sweat and savings, okay, putting that into the future of some child.
Investing.
Thank you. That in itself is not a problem. The fact that you invested fraudulently because you were under an impression which was not a correct impression. Well, so yes, if you know it is not yours and you choose to take care of it, that's your problem.
You see, we are making the thing sound as if it is only at times the women that they want to play smart.
That's all normal place.
No, we have men too who will fire. Then they will work under some media and say that, oh, I want to, let's say, adopt this child into my household. Then you bring the child even on board.
That is not that.
Don't let us divert what we are discussing about. Asem no waka say, am I in DNA? Who DNA no?
Sharp.
But the asem we na asem we. O mama no papa wo ba ya. Enye sa. Thank you.
Your tree is suspect, so you speak English.
No, oh, don't worry. I'll mix. I need to mix because today, you know, I'm a sofa and I'm a my meeting. Yes. So you see, and now your people born you. It has all that it's sharp. Thank you. Where you to, if I make sure say, if you find make somebody to come, they can't call you what daddy. As soon as you bed, you be adopted. And as soon as you one kasa, oh dear. Everybody in this world loves to give birth and to be called daddy or father. Still, and I will be here can say, not all fathers are daddies or not all daddies are fathers. It has a meaning.
What does that mean?
We'll come to that. But what we are talking about, if a coming kwanka, the DNA, you should do it.
Why?
Why? Because most of our ladies are taking us for granted nowadays.
Okay.
There are two things. One, most of them feel that child, this guy get money, but I know they fill up. I just day in body take off in money. Yes. Where I get side boy, where in the fire. So you know the thing is what the ladies they do. Make a divert more. You do what the things that they do. We say if they on is it ovulation? If you go in S guy in or the guy where he the law, you go check give him, make it chop. Then you go take and give you. Then you work for by then, now they're not for me.
That's where we
relax. I come.
He is trying to describe the target. The females choose who they want
to give birth with,
but not who. I don't have a problem with that too. What I also want him to understand, in as much as he is dealing with more ladies, in as much as we have ladies who calculate and let you maybe come and shoot, we also have men. That's what I also want him to understand.
You see, that notion
you don't know.
Exists.
I wanted to learn that would have understood me.
Okay.
But
it is because
you as a man, you will never know. It's only a woman who would say you are a man. And you can be a father.
This way I will disagree with you.
No, you can't disagree with me.
I will also decide who I impregnate.
Hey! My guy,
this is where you also get it wrong. I'm coming. This is where you also get it wrong. You go do hard, then my outer will come. Wallah, you be lie. God, when you see that, talk and let's stop. You know why I'm saying this? You see, we shouldn't underestimate anybody. In as much as the women, before they think men would have thought.
Forget.
No, I'm coming. Let me learn.
Forget.
You can't do that to me.
Okay, hello, calm down.
I wanted
can we go
land.
one at a time?
Yes, so let me land.
Let's not talk about it.
So let me land.
You land.
Good.
If you play me
if I'm with you as a woman, and I know you, no, I'm just saying, if I'm with my woman,
you are not talking.
Yes, and I know my woman, I even know her ovulation, cycle, and everything. That one I can tell you, I can know when to fire, and also get what I want. Men, the reason why we are saying that women are being smart is that when it's just, let's say, travel, most of the men will be the people trying to bring their their kids whatsoever outside the country. That is why we are putting the blame on the women. But we also have men who also play smart, have kids somewhere, and they put them in. So if the woman is saying, I'm also coming to pick you up, unless I'm being DNA,
you still
the problem is not whether men are having children outside. They are having children outside. Those who want to bring them home will bring them home. Most women will not permit an adoption when they have not had the children they want.
Okay.
Right? They won't. So it is very few occasions that a man will bring some child from outside when he already has 6 children and he's complaining at home and say that I'm going to adopt an extra one.
Okay.
Right? If the woman, I saw a WhatsApp screenshot the other day. The girl says hi. The woman says hi. Who are you? And the girl says you are rude. Like, okay, what is your problem? He says I'm pregnant for your husband. And the woman is like, oh, that's nice. Please take good care of yourself. I don't care about you, but I care about my child. Because to her husband's child is her child.
Exactly.
So that part is not a problem.
Okay.
What is calling for this DNA testing is the fact that people are being misled
Exactly.
to believe that, oh, I fired a real gun, Mantu Petetu. Then 20 years down the line, sometimes more than 20 years down the line, they find out that after paying for medical school and all those bills,
spoon, now go and fetch your own from inside. Can you do it?
Boga.
That's why I'm saying that we shouldn't even go to that DNA thing.
Boga.
Anyone get time.
Boga tea. And it's before you come, make a top one two. Who would you on? So what fire? Because you now can't have a country in you.
Kachi.
What fire? Now one got out sharp, crying in the most I cry with you. Say something, Papa. And your day. Maybe that's them, and your day. Thank you. Oh, Nabutre. I saw him because you go. The answer what? That's all. Do a woobush animal. Okay. Either your dad or maybe your uncle or but never got to the media and I say, fine. I'll make a scenario. Let me bow. Let me be probably try to ask. See, my guy here. If a woman then give birth, the firstborn, we now see everybody said the city.
If your guy,
and this one, they're not my guy.
You turn doctor with the show.
Oh, relax.
No, you see,
it won't one male, the one female. But when the female come,
where everybody
see Charlie this one. The whole family, everybody see Charlie where You see how the thing is. But the guy now sometimes he might do one two. Because the small boy in behavior, then the lady in the girl into in behavior. The inner is a suspect, but it was the bracto. When we now talk and say, Charlie, what do you think? Go do. What are they tell you right now? It's an issue. Because as we go do, the firstborn not be known. So mostly the firstborn.
Good. So a Nigerian fertility center did the study and came out with a report that about 50% of firstborns, not all the children,
yes,
firstborns, about 50% of firstborns are not their father's children.
It's true.
So if you have heard this, so we and show. It's not make us say we should. We have not shoot it now.
No.
Well, you see, the thing
how do the problem
involved? And in our day and age now, there is also these cardiovascular diseases in the kind. So for a man to raise a child thinking he is his, and after so many years, there are people who go like they basically are on family, maybe I won't yet. What they are saying. That is why initially I said that it shouldn't be made as an essential component. It should be mandatory. Thanks for that word. It should be an optional something. And you know, maybe I will so who's road there, then we leave it as it is. Almost our person will find it out. Then you do what you've got to do.
Mike, before I will work at that, you yourself, if you love her, you will do or you don't do.
If I love her, why am I going to do?
Thank you.
Okay. Now, let me ask something. That's why we have some people in the family that when you give birth, they come to visit the baby before naming ceremony.
Exactly.
You know what they come to do? Check. You have somebody in the family who that has made that her job or his job. Oh, I'm going to be a fellow. Oh, big than the F4. Those statements, when it's made, it should ring a bell.
Exactly.
Okay.
But because we've now adapted the Western culture, we tend to leave family out.
Exactly.
We want to do christening in church.
Okay, you see.
Then hold on. We want to do christening in church. Then we leave that aspect out. What do? We now give ourselves to the 18 years of wasted labor, of forced adoption.
Compulsory adoption.
System gets hard. You want to relocate. Now they are requesting for DNA to check whether what you say is true.
Even the embassies used not to request for DNA until they realized that too many were passing through that were not people's children. That's where the problem came from.
So which means before you even travel, you need to do a DNA if you have a family. Is that right?
Now,
you go be travel.
Yes,
now, as I was
You go be travel.
No,
I will be travel.
as I was saying,
With your picking.
as I was saying, it has come to stay with us, to also keep us on guard.
Oh yeah.
That as a man, you should see your traits. That makes you a man.
Let me ask you a question.
But you see, it's not.
Let me ask you a question. There was a family where mother father were both dark. Okay. They had a child, and the child was fair like fair, not brown like me, fair. And it was becoming a problem because, like you said, now it didn't look like it was their child. So the man was beginning to doubt his wife. But some older woman in the family, then came up with the issue that there was a grandpa or somebody like 2 generations back, who was like half cooked. Okay, so then it could be, genetics I did one semester of genetics. Sometimes the genes skip a generation.
You have the dominant and the recessive.
Yes, the dominant and the recessive. So sometimes the genes skip a particular trait will skip a generation. Without the knowledge of that grandpa, they would have said the mamina for baby when she hadn't gone anywhere.
That calls you for DNA. Now, what he just said, I have witnessed one. A brother and a sister. The brother is dark, the sister is white. The mother is dark, the father is white.
It's always like there have even been issues where I think some years ago, one hospital, a black lady in the US, a white man, they gave birth to a set of twins. A
One
boy
was white,
and a
one
girl.
was
The girl was like when they were both born, as they grew a few days later, the girl was growing darker. The boy was just looking more like his dad. So there are those dynamics. It's quite intriguing. This TV series, Empire, Lucius Lyon. Now Lucius was, his mother was bipolar, right? But it's quite intriguing. He wasn't bipolar.
Is bipolar
His
genetic?
Son, it can be genetic.
It can be, okay.
Yeah, it can be hereditary. His first son was bipolar.
Okay, yeah, the first.
What it means is that it doesn't mean Hakeem and his other son didn't have those genes. They have those genes that can pass on. So genetics can be very
Genetics can be funny, yes.
So somebody might not even look like the father or the mother.
Yeah.
I see that most of the
but
time.
looks like some grandpa.
There is one in my house. There is one in my house. My elder sister's husband has a brother who got married to a lady. And when they gave birth, the child was very fair. Like the Fulani, you see those. And Ghanaians, they started, no, actually. No, they were doing pay. But so they started putting things in the guy's mind. But for him, he knew that the girl's grandfather was like that type. So later one day, the man visited. It was a church program, he came. They were like, hey, what's the papa with you? So you see, as he's saying, it happens.
It's like, you see, a DNA or looks, a person's looks is like a screensaver. Okay? Yeah.
Really?
Your DNA, let me put it this way. There are so many elements. You can pick so many people's looks. But your system just picks a certain identity and relegates every other person's looks to the background. So that look you pick is your screensaver. You might not look like your parents. You might look like somebody 4 generations before.
Yes.
And there's one intriguing thing I just found out. I think about 2 weeks ago.
Professor.
My brother is a doctor. So we were driving from church once and I was asking him, so if 2 brothers impregnate a girl, don't you think it would be difficult for them to determine the father? And he was like, no, it shouldn't.
DNA is that unique.
How? And he was like, Charlie, DNA is extremely unique.
Yes.
Even the 2 of us from same parents, we are not the same.
Yeah. It's that unique.
No,
even identical twins.
Yes.
Even identical twins are different.
So every human being has a certain level of uniqueness. So you might come from the same family. You might pick certain things. You might have that dominance.
But
So maybe
traits.
exactly.
And then inborn tendencies.
That is also there. You get it. But so it's the whole thing is, I don't think it's mostly fair when we relegate this thing to the traditional thing. Oh, any of the week. Oh, any of the week. And I say anything.
So it is because we can't particularly trust the scientific nature of some old woman saying Otewe. That is why DNA should become that mandatory. So we are not relying on some subjective assessment and say asun way say papa way and knows way say way. So let's do the thing.
Even at that.
Nina Sebame.
Well, they've called for a commercial break. Yes, we need a commercial break. We need a DNA test to ascertain that they are not. Anyway, we are going for a commercial break. We will come back and we'll continue this conversation. See you.
Make it worth it.
We went on a commercial break and we are back. This is still the Barber's Church Chat Show, proudly brought to you by Ebony Condoms, Hello Kaime, Shea Butter Products, Global Beauty Salon Solutions Enterprise. Yes. We are still promulgating the issue of paternity fraud and DNA. Now, I want to ask a question here. When you do the test and then you find out it is not yours, okay, there's one side, Michael brought that up earlier, the legality of it. We are not saying go and do it yourself, giddy, giddy, giddy. Obviously, if it becomes mandatory, then it is a law that is asking for it. So let's clear that one. If you need to get it done, you go to a court and the court will request it and it will be done. But what is the issue with taking care of somebody else's child? Is that such a big deal?
Okay. That's a very, very big deal. And let me tell you why it's a big deal. It's like you are watching a stone to grow. You are having expectations out of that stone.
Mm-hmm.
But the stone color changes as the sun brights on it. Mm-hmm. And you know this is not my trace.
You are losing me.
I'm not losing you, I'm bringing you to the table. Now, I will wish that we add it to the maternity bill of doing DNA from birth.
Okay.
Why? There can be instances of issues that you need to donate. Instead of waiting till the emergency to get direct transmission, have it done from birth. You know your level and your stand. You are good to go. That is one option. Two.
Let's understand that option. As in, the child has grown, there's a medical situation, you need to do transition or something, and they realize that you are not
Maybe from
compatible,
birth.
you are not even a child.
Maybe from
Or even from birth. There's an
From birth.
emergency at some point,
Yes.
and you need to donate something to the child, and then you realize that you are not compatible because you are not the dad.
there's a need for you to get platelets.
Mhm.
It's hard to come by it. So like your blood group, your sickling,
Yeah.
all those traits need to be.
Organ transplant.
Thank you. And then the child happens to be somebody's. It's not yours. Emergency needs to be done. Due to issues at hand, a woman will decide not to keep mute. The kid will die, sleeping dogs lie. But if
Dead men don't talk.
dead men don't talk, but if DNA is made mandatory, it will be ideal for every man to know that this is what I need to do. Also to keep a man in check, that I need to keep myself healthy to be able to help my kids when there's a need, because they are mine.
Okay,
But
now
the legalities of it will not come in when it's made mandatory by law for it to be done at birth. But if there's a grown child and you are in a marriage and you want to do it, you need to have reasons to do it.
okay, so I was going there. I was going to ask that. Should the choice or option of asking for a DNA, should it be with consent of both parents or just one? Because the moment a man whose wife has had a child, whose partner has had a child, requests for DNA, automatically an allegation has been made.
That is perfect. So like I said, coming to the legalities of it, there should be a reason for it to be asked for in the series of life growth. A child is about 8 years or 18 years. What will request for a DNA? A DNA will be requested when a man is probably seeking greener pastures. The embassy want to verify it is your child, so they request for it. That's where an issue will come. Now, if you also come from a different point of view and request for a DNA, you are in a way, let me bring my tone down, insulting your partner.
That's what I mean by an allegation has been made.
So an allegation has been made, like you said. Why will an allegation be made? To make based on facts on the ground. Nobody will decide to do that without a reason.
Okay, now let's go one step further. I heard a story of a man that asked for a DNA test, and his wife said, "Look, I am innocent. I have not gone anywhere," and he still insisted on the DNA. The wife said, "Fine, you want to do the DNA, go ahead and do it, but on one condition. If you do the test, whether the child is yours or not, you will not have access to the child. If you don't do the test, we are fine, we did, you have the child and everything. The moment you do the test, I am taking the child and going away. Whether the test says it is yours or not, you will not see the child again, because you have made an allegation."
Hello.
That was her one condition, because she insisted she was innocent. So actually he went ahead and did it, okay, and the woman off went with the child. Now he's fighting.
Was he
to see
innocent?
his child. Yeah, she hadn't gone anywhere. Was his child.
Okay, fine.
And now the woman had taken the child, and now he's fighting to see the child.
Has he done bisectomy?
By who?
Bisectomy.
Which one is the bisectomy?
Castrating yourself.
Vasectomy.
Whatever. So, I said bi because he's having bipolar.
So you should go ahead and fire another one.
No. Why, if a woman says A and you are saying B, you have to now reset yourself. That's why I said
women are critical thinkers. So when a woman says, I am safe, and gives you a condition, it should click your mind and say, okay, there are so many ways.
Yes, but at that point, the guy also wants to satisfy his
he's calling you a bluff.
curiosity.
Calling you a bluff.
So many ways.
To kill a cat.
To kill a cat.
Yeah, that's true.
You get it? Just follow what the lady just said.
No.
Oh, okay, let's leave it. You have ways and means that you can do it while the lady will not even be aware of it.
That's the point.
So
You get
okay, understood.
And
Assuming you do it.
hold on. It's not everything you see that you say. There are times you need to behave like a cat.
Oh, yeah.
Behaving like a dog at every time
You have to do
destroys a lot. So there are times you need to close your eyes and let sleeping dogs lie. Why? You need to hold on to peace in an environment. This is a situation where we have 7 kids. 2 are not yours.
Okay.
The kids have grown together to love each other. What you, a man, should look at is your old age. The unity among them will help you in your old age. Shut up.
That's all.
Well,
Yes, because, and to add to what he's saying, at that point, sometimes at that point, it's not even about the child belonging to him or not.
Yeah.
It's about the relationship that has been formed over
Thank
the
you.
years.
You have to just forget
And
that.
the bond. And the blue Osana, it depends. Everybody has the way he reacts to things.
That is it.
But there are men who might not even bother about the DNA aspect. Because at the end of the day, if any of us here had grown up with someone and you realize the person is not your biological father and all that, would you go to your biological father because, hey, my child is a papa? No, you will rather revere the person. I believe you will revere the person who actually raised you, or the one who
It's
you answer.
because you want to
You get it?
travel, you want to
But even that, no. Brothers, you have to know this. In Ghana we say lehe ngo se fomohe. So it's not about
where you
where
you were nurtured,
where you are nature and cared for is sweeter than
where you were born.
Your biological father, your roots.
Okay.
You have been, and mind you, because of we having a family growing certain, the entire family has grown to accept you. Automatically, you will have to live within there. That's the acceptable, or where you feel belonging to, more than your new discovery.
You see, something happened there. There is this man who saw a boy that he thinks is his son. After 25 years, he had traveled, the man traveled, and he was sending people to come and look for that boy. Unfortunately, when the man decided to come to Ghana to look for the son, the mother had passed on. So he came, looked for the boy, and then started caring for the boy. Now he got to a time, his own brother, looking at it that the man, it happens to be maybe the only son, and the man had acquired a lot. So the brother was thinking that, oh, if I don't make smart, the man will give everything to the boy. So he started putting things in the man's head. Now the man, do you know what the man did? I would say it's a mistake he did. He called the guy one day, I want you to help me go somewhere, travel to, let's say, Takrade. You go, and then the man goes to do a DNA without even letting the boy know that this is what I want to do. You go to an office, and it was like an office setting, because if it were to be an office, the boy wouldn't have gone. You went with your 2 daughters and that boy. The boy, even at a point, had to stand for you in a court case, win certain properties for you, because you trusted the boy, like you had that love for. Yes. Because of what your brother put in your head, now you started behaving funny towards the guy. Now you take him to an office, and then you call on somebody to come and do the swap or whatever. Now you go and check, and it tells you the boy is not yours. This is the same boy. It is because of him that even your property that you left in Ghana, he had to.
You didn't lose it.
Yeah. They were chasing him, land guards, whatsoever. He stood in for you.
So
So what are you going to do now? Now you have done the DNA test and you realize that the boy is not yours. Now you are going back. Your daughters too are also not here. What are you going to do? So as you said in the Ghana language, that where you are nurtured, at times is better than maybe your root.
Yeah.
It comes in here. So if the man would have behaved like the cat,
Let's
Okay,
sleeping
the
dogs.
question
Let's
is,
sleeping
my question
dogs
is,
lie.
why didn't he? You see this thing then. Why didn't he do it on the first? I mean, even before building a relationship with the
Build
guy,
a
if he
relationship.
wanted to satisfy
So
something.
that is why I say do it at the
That's the
hospital.
question. This guy.
At the point when the girl tells you, "Oh, Bram, the this thing that we did that you said it won't become this thing. It has become this thing."
okay.
Okay.
No, I mean, me mami say me nyem. Mami get nye ho.
This brings me to something very funny. This is what I meant. You see, I was saying something that at times, the way the ladies can tell you, I know who I'm pregnant for. The men too, you ought to be smart. You, let me
Hold on. He has a point because men move without thinking.
Without thinking.
So that one may be true.
Let me, if I land, you understand me.
Most men don't think.
Let me say we know this. Let me say the men do this. Hold on. Let me say the men do this.
No,
the men they have two heads. Hold on. They have two heads. If you say it will be one at a time.
Okay.
So when one starts work, one stop work.
That is the mistake we do. So you let me land, I beg you. You see, if the woman is able to tell you that, despite whatsoever, I'm able to think beyond the box. The men too is about time. We also form another association to correct those things. Why? Because if you get to a lady and then you want to do your own thing with her, at times you prefer to maybe use the ebony condom, as I'm saying, and then she'll be like, "Oh, don't use it." Immediately you penetrate. If she's pregnant, you should know. The temperature will change.
That's it.
Why
You
you
don't
don't
No. Hold on. Let me bring this. It is time. As I said, we need to have engagement with our friends. A relationship needs to grow from levels to levels. We need to now have our kids coming up know themselves.
What is it?
From one level to the other, to adopt, to get things done well. We don't talk about sex, love making, and relationship in schools.
They will tell you what is for the children. Lutu, have you not experienced that?
No.
Have you not had the place? You know that the place is hot. You've not seen that thing before.
That's another.
No. Have you not experienced that thing?
It has a whole lot to do
That's
with.
another response.
You are not a thermometer.
No. I'm telling you.
What he's saying, I know, but it is not for a setting. Now, no what? Now the temperature is different, but like he said, we need to now have a way forward. DNA should be at birth. For everybody to know his stance. Now, before then, why do we have counselors in the hospitals?
They do HIV counseling and all sorts of counseling.
We need to have people being trained psychology to get employment. Why are we not using those people? The hospitals need to have these things done. A patient comes. How you explain the death of a relation to a patient counts.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
The status of a patient, it counts. The health status of a patient, it counts. Now, let's come to our lifestyle as men. We also need to look at ourselves. You know you can't get to cloud 8. This girl is going to cloud 8 or cloud 9. You can get to cloud 6. Let her understand your level and meet you there. If she can't, master, don't fall into the trap. I'm not. Don't fall in the trap of getting somebody giving you somebody's pregnancy. You need to have a relationship. My wish is that we get the DNA done at birth. If it's not done at birth, forget it. All those at that level, forget it. When there's a need for it, it will bring itself. But for now, we have to now bring families in. Well, families are
What
the
would
best.
the family do?
A family grown up elderly lady or a man, when he comes close to a baby, looking at the baby from birth, they can tell within a week. That is why
the old man's vision has become impaired. They are old.
Hold on.
How will they look at
when
it
it gets there spiritually, my brother, hold on. Spiritually, when it gets there, that's why it is being said.
I'm sorry. Spirituality doesn't count.
No, it comes in. Well, that's why it's being said.
It doesn't count in court.
No, it's not about court.
It's not legally accepted.
It won't even get to court. It won't get to court because why? The woman has given birth. Within a week, 7 days, it's in the Bible. You need to outdoor and name the kid. Those periods, there's a cycle and changes. The family dominating comes to light.
What in the child?
In the child, you know where he belongs. They know.
Hold on. There are children, from my experience, most babies, the larger majority of babies, come out looking like one parent. Within a span of a month or 2 or 3, quarter, 1 year, they start flipping.
No. Within a week, there are signs on the kid. The family knows.
I'm saying the child may come out looking like their mother for 1 week. No, give it a month, give it 2 months, maximum 1 year.
Yeah.
It turns. That is when their true features actually come out.
Exactly.
And so that 1 week with an impaired old woman's vision, you can't say no. This child doesn't hold water. It is not scientific enough.
So then that means you guys agree with me at best DNA.
You see, the DNA test, of course, is unequivocal proof.
Yes.
Okay. If somebody wants to do it at birth, I feel the person should just go ahead and do it. Those who do not want to do it for obvious reasons, they should also leave it that way.
Because if I suspect you,
for what?
If I look at myself and I look at you,
your father,
maybe anything can happen.
One of you father pass on.
Yes, you look at the face. Look at me.
Don't look at me. Look at my face.
That's why this man intentionally brought us here.
Oh, but that is nowhere.
In fact, you actually brought us here. You actually brought us here to expose us.
I don't know anything about any exposure.
It's not anything. Let me drink.
We went for my grandfather's funeral.
He's brought 2 families together.
Highly coincidental. I know not of any lawful impediment.
Anytime you say it be my old lady insists in she did that. I'm not seeing before. So this one, no, not that. She looks. When I saw her feature, I was like, get away with your semi-bush. You know, later one of my cousins was like, unimwe, wait until we say Bandi and say this, well, of course, who will take
that connection they do, they worry you.
I don't know, I know 10 people. Maybe they look alike.
You know,
yes, when we say.
No, the lady I met in church. I met another lady in church, and she said the first day she saw me, I was like, hey, my nephew looks like you. I was like, how? She sent me the boy's picture. The boy's picture looks like me when I was like, my mom saw the picture and was like, this is like your picture when you were 1 year old.
Those things exist. You see, those
things that they are very real. But you'll be shocked that
somebody said that area nipa nearby 2.
Yeah.
Nipa is people look like each other. People have resemblances. People have common traits.
But I mean, my feeling is telling me you got us here, these 2 people. You got us here just to expose that. Look at this thing. Look at this
DNA. We have to do DNA.
What did I do?
We have to do the DNA. So now, you guys agree the DNA needs to be done at birth.
But you said that if you don't do it at birth, you should forget it. So we should forget it.
Oh no, for
him bringing us together, we have to do it.
But you see, at birth, it's cool. But sometimes, to me personally, I would talk to most of the guys, if you start to suspect something, just relax. Do it privately.
when nobody will know.
And let's leave it just like.
Exactly. Then at the end of the day, you now make your own decision. But make sure that the decision you will make, you know, will affect
the kiddie.
Because the kiddie too come.
The child is innocent.
Some laws be.
But this is natural. If you do secretly.
No, if hold
on. You see, that makes you a man.
Exactly.
The thing is,
if the kiddie was out there, some people can even go to the extent of even altering DNA test. You don't know why some people can do. I'm not doubting. Human beings, it could be anything.
The science on the drawing board. As human beings as we are, say, "Oh, yeah, I deal with secret. You cannot catch it." Actually, why you almost a plan in your band? If you are not careful, no pray the ever compare. You swear to the sour colano.
No, wait.
Hold on.
You see,
that is why
when you are doing the test, so many years later, okay, 10, 15, 20 years, when you find out it is your child, let's say you did it privately, madam didn't know about it. You find out it is your child, you continue with life. You find out it is not your child, right? The decision is yours to make.
Exactly.
Yes, it takes a lot. It needs a lot of calmness.
Yeah,
it needs a lot of sensible thinking to decide that
you need to have a big heart.
Yes, to decide that they are not mine.
You can. That's why I am of the view we need to have the people who do counselors in schools working. How many hospitals and offices have counselors counseling their staffs?
Oh no, they have
don't use them.
When you take an HIV test, before they give you the result.
Hold on, is HIV the only issue?
It's not the only issue.
So we need to have them across the board.
It's not that they don't have counselors. They have counselors. They use them for the HIV test.
So why they use only HIV?
Why only HIV?
Why only HIV?
That's what we do now. They should be using them more.
And if you also then it's my wish and it's our request as young men of this country that DNA issues need to have counselors.
Exactly. Oh no, if you were
to nesano na ke ene ihamuna bi ne ene
the gun
iglam bi ne.
Chairman, you are speaking the gun. Let's also translate into the
gun is
we call it tedie. So the way I'm asking ba. So
perfect.
Okay.
All about get the man. Like I know my issue is if we have to get it done, let's do it right. DNA is a must because the kind of lifestyle men go push the women out. So then we need to know to take ourselves to make sure our lineage and our legacy continues. There can be correction. When you do a DNA and you get to know, oh, this is not my kid. It's because of me. Again, I'll bring Odatelamte in. After getting issues done and now getting himself on track, you can see resemblance and traits of his visual look on his offscreen. Now, let's bring ourselves down. Men are always liars. The court will say the man is lying. Where will it end? Nothing. But because the DNA came in, it has helped him to now bring the true picture out. My brothers, DNA from birth will be the best thing for us to get a new generation. Stand up to have our black rates run for a long period.
The time is always, I don't know where the time they go. When you are talking about important matter, the time just they run. We are running out of time and we have to finish. I don't know. Maybe there will be a part 2 to this issue. In another way, I can't promise anything. But we are going to round up. I'm going to give these guys a minute or something each to summarize their whole submission into one brief one. So we'll take it from Lutu. Lutu, okay. 1 minute.
My brothers, like we said, DNA from birth will be the best thing to help families help address issues. I think that would be the best, which I'll request if it's added to our health insurance or family platforms, or even churches get to adapt it to help families to grow. Thank you.
Michael.
Taking care of a child, whether the child is yours or not, is a big deal. And it's unfortunate if somebody has to find out about the biological nature of their children after so many years. That calls for a higher level of trust between couples and people who want to have babies. The issue of DNA being essential, I do not exactly agree with it. I feel it should be open to the people involved. If a couple or if a man or a woman wants to find out about the DNA of his child or his or her child, he has the liberty to go ahead. If the person is also not comfortable with the whole idea, he is at will to also just let it go. Thank you.
Okay.
Why do you want to be the last one?
Oji, why do you want to go last?
Go.
I'll tell the reason why. So when he's done.
Like,
Okay, DNA. The little I will say is that let's try as much as possible. The men, there are most cases we know that our thing is shooting but cannot hit target. There is one thing that we do that brings about a whole lot of issues. We should test ourselves. To help our women, because at times the woman wants to save you from shame. That is why at times some of them even go to that extent of even getting kids elsewhere. Because I have had cases that I've addressed that I know of that brings about all these things. So I'll plead, taking care of a child, when you see it is yours or not yours. After all, Jesus Christ, Joseph was not the father. David was also not the father. But when you are tracing it, you bring it down to them. If you take care of somebody's own correctly, yours will also be correct. Thank you.
you'll be the
Now, oh, yes, why you
you'll be
Now I think that.
Oji,
Yes.
you said you wanted to go last.
The reason I wanted to go last is so simple. My brothers have said it all. I don't need to add up.
Yes, right.
But the only thing I just want to say is that if you can't do it at best, maybe because of one or two things, just take your child, let the child grow to your extent, then just do it secretly or privately. But once you see that it's not yours, I beg you, we can adopt. So in your mind, adopt. Take good care of the person. One day that person can also help you in a way. Thank you so much.
Well, you have heard it from the men. This is a male perspective of the whole DNA testing paternity fraud conversation. I didn't say it. I didn't impose it. It's the men, at least a sample size of men that have given their opinions on the essentiality or the mandatory nature of DNA testing at birth or sometime later in life. I hope the 1 hour that you have been with us, your time that you have given us, has opened your eyes to one thing or the other, and will make you a better human being, will make you a better person. Specifically, will make you a better father to some child, whether yours, proven or not yours, you don't know. Look, the child did not ask to be in this mess. Just take care of the child. Like he said, that child may come back to take care of you later in life. The show has been the Barber's Church Chat Show, proudly brought to you by Ebony Condoms, Ghana's most pleasurable condom. Comes in 4 flavors: chocolate, vanilla.
No,
strawberry.
please always start with the mint.
I know you two are going to talk.
Listen, I said it comes in 4 flavors:
Mint,
chocolate, vanilla, strawberry.
mint,
See
vanilla.
who laughs longest.
No.
Chocolate,
The
vanilla, strawberry, and mint. He wants to hear the mint. you can't go wrong with an ebony condom. It never will do anything.
But before,
in fact, with that one, you need a DNA test.
but before you say bye bye to our viewers, I'm going to Kumasi, so I make contact.
I know will give you some.
Thank you.
Master, bring the camera back to me. I know will give them
Thank
some.
you.
Our other partners, Hello Kaimi, Global.
I'm trying to do birth control. I need the men's flavor.
No, you don't do DNA.
People, the show is over. We will come back another time with another episode, another topic, different set of people. But the show will continue to be this interesting and this educative. Bye. Catch you another time. People, you don't cry. You don't know what to say what you need.
Performance takes effort. Ebony condoms make it worth it.